everything, and then we will start the podcast. Let's go live. Hang in there, peeps on YouTube. Hang in there, my Facebook friends. I gotta get better lighting, but it's life. Ain't got the loot for that. Spaz'n out, America's podcast, and now we are live on. We're about to get the podcast started. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Twitter. We are live on YouTube. Let me bring up the podcast so I can record it. Is this live? Yeah, bro, this is live. Hell is that? Hell yeah. Hold on. All right, we're going to crank this. Let's do it. Thank you so much for joining America's podcast, your podcast. Spazzing out, America's podcast, a podcast done for the American people, mostly for the American male, but women, you're involved. You can be involved. You can join the program. The program. I welcome the women to join the program. We need your point of view. Us dumb men, us idiotic men, like sloths, like we need your help to help us figure out the things that we don't know how to figure out. But for the most part, I think we got it. Couple things that I'm gonna. Let's get the formalities out of the way, like I always like to do from the top. Okay. First and foremost, tonight's podcast is brought to you by Take Junk. It's my junk removal company. If you need junk removal, hit me up, Anthony@takejunk.com. Please, for the love of God, don't hit me up if you're not in Massachusetts. Or, listen, Southern New Hampshire, cool. Worcester to the coast, pretty cool. You can hit me up. But if you live in California, I can't help you out. If you live in Texas, I can't help you out. I'm in Massachusetts. Take Junk is the name of the company, takejunk.com. But just hit me up directly, Anthony@takejunk.com. You get me direct, I'll deal with you. I'll give you I'll hook you up for the America's podcast discount, which is, there is no fucking discount because my shit's already cheap enough. And if you don't like my price, fucking use somebody else. You like that? Is that a glowing endorsement for my business? It's like, don't use me. And if you want to use me, you're going to pay my fucking rate. If you don't like it, bye. Here's the deal. 5 nights a week, I record the podcast. When I record it, I am Facebook Live, I am live on Twitter, and I am live on YouTube. You can join me at night if you want to be a part of it. Most people listen in the car. Most people are, and it's because when I do my Facebook, I got like 11 people. When I'm doing YouTube, I got like 2 people. When I do Twitter, there's like 1. But the podcast gets downloaded like 500 times, 500 to 600 times a day. It's growing. So there are other people that listen when they're on their ride to work that don't join us for the nightly recording. But I do appreciate the people that join for the nightly recording. If you are watching right now, whether Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, share this right now. Share the Facebook feed, share the Twitter feed, share the YouTube feed. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, subscribe to me on YouTube, subscribe to the podcast. Go to AnthonyPazziali.com, hit one of the links, go to Apple Podcasts. You know the place, bro. Just do it. Every night I got to tell you guys, because if I don't, you won't. Now, a few things I want to talk about, but I'm going to warn everybody right from the get-go. This is a full-blown fucking warning. I'm going to talk about Meth Mile, and I'm also going to talk about the fact that today is National Overdose Awareness Day. I'm going to talk about it. And you're not going to like what I have to say about it. So if you're a bitch, if you're a pussy, you should leave now. Bye. You should bounce out, because you are not going to like my opinion on it, because I am not sympathetic, and I never will be sympathetic, and you will never convince me to be. It's not going to be the first thing we talk about. We'll talk about some other stuff so that I can engage my other listeners. But I'm warning the other listeners that I'm going to talk about drugs, and I have no sympathy for this shit. And I don't care. Okay? So there's your warning. You've been warned that I'm about to talk. The way I'm going to talk about drug addiction and overdose and Meth Mile will get me canceled. So if that's too offensive for your ass, you should bail out after I talk about the monkeys. We have to talk about the monkeys. You guys know I love the monkeys. The monkey people, I love them. America needs your help. America is in dire need and it needs your help. If you own a monkey, if you know someone that owns a monkey, if you know someone that runs a zoo, if you know somebody that runs a circus, or maybe they just have a personal chimp or a personal monkey, we need the monkeys. There's a new story in the news. There is a shortage of test monkeys. We're running into a major problem in the United States. We don't have the monkeys. Al just asked again, is this live? Yes, Al, this is live. 8:34. This is live, my man. It's actually 8:40 on my clock. It's a nighttime show. Listen, we need the monkeys. You know how a few weeks ago I talked about the fact that I don't care if we test monkeys? I don't care. Test all the monkeys you have to test. If they're going to find the cure for cancer, test the monkeys. If you're going to find a vaccine for COVID-19, test the monkeys. You know how I feel. I don't want to hear the monkey people bitch and moan and say, oh, you can't test the monkeys. Well, if you're one of those people that don't want monkeys being tested, we have a simple rule on America's podcast, a very simple rule. If you don't want monkeys tested, you don't get the cure. If a monkey was tested, you don't get the cure. So, for example, if they tested lipstick on a monkey, you don't get to use that lipstick. If they did food testing on the monkey, you don't get to eat that food. If they found the cure for cancer and you didn't want monkey testing, then you will surely die of cancer. If they find the vaccine, if they find some kind of a cure for COVID-19 off testing the monkeys, and you were one of those bitches that was like, the monkeys, you don't get it. That's it. You don't get it. All right, we're going to move on from that because you know how I feel. I could go on and on and on about it. The important thing that you need to know is there is a monkey shortage. We don't have any monkeys. The scientists are running out of monkeys to test. They are testing monkeys for the vaccine. We need, I love it, Al just gave a great idea, test people on death row. Probably not a bad idea. Listen, we need the monkeys. So if you have a monkey, it's the American thing. It's patriotic for you to donate your monkey. If you know someone that has a monkey, you know a circus person, a carnival barker, you know a zookeeper, I implore you to reach out to them and ask them to donate their monkey. We need your monkeys. If you don't know how to get in touch with someone where to donate the monkey, get in touch with me. I will find the people that will take the monkeys and test them for COVID-19. There's none. They're not getting them from China. China's not giving us the monkeys. We're not getting the monkeys from China. We don't have that many left here in the United States. They're running out. This is a huge problem. We can't save lives unless we have some kind of primate to test it on. They're the closest DNA to us, I guess, other than pigs, maybe. Maybe they could test it on the pigs, but then what the fuck would we eat? We need the pigs. We eat the pigs, bro. We don't eat the monkeys. We test them. So please, do the American thing. Do the right thing. If you have a monkey, we need it. We need your monkey. I'm not asking for your kid. I'm not asking for your dog. I'm asking for the monkeys. We need them. Send us your monkeys. Please look up the story, Google it, donate your monkeys. It's do your part as an American to save other American lives and donate the monkeys. Now, I know you guys think I'm fucking kidding because it does seem pretty funny. There's no joke. There is a shortage on monkeys. There's a shortage on test monkeys. They can't get them from anywhere. It's unfortunate because there's like 30,000 monkeys that they tested that are dead and gone. I know it's horrific when you say something like that, but listen, I'll wipe out 1 million monkeys if it's going to save one American life. So donate your monkey. And if you know anybody that works in the monkey industry, let them know that the United States is looking for monkeys. I'm sure they'll give you top dollar for it. I'm sure there are labs that will give you top dollar for your monkey. There, I've done my civic duty. On this program, I've pushed out the fact that we need the monkeys. Why? We need them for testing. No, I am one. Yes, I 100% support killing or testing monkeys to make sure we get to live. Donate your monkey today for the American cause, for the American people. Please do that. Moving on from the monkeys. Ron Jeremy. I just want to get a couple stories out of the way, and then we'll get right into the why I'm infuriated. So Ron Jeremy, we all know who Ron Jeremy is. Well, maybe some of us don't. Maybe some of the younger listeners don't. Ron Jeremy is probably one of the most famous porn stars, male porn stars of all time. You could probably name two. You could probably name maybe three. Ron Jeremy, Peter North, and then there's one other guy, and I can't think of the guy's name, but if you said it, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's him. Ron Jeremy is famous for being a porn star and for having sex and for being in adult films. He's also famous for having a huge penis. One of the very first porns I ever watched was Rambone and Deadeye. Rambone and Deadeye, it was a knockoff of Rambo, and Ron Jeremy was Rambone, because he had the big ass cock, and fucking Deadeye comes like, oh, I'll never forget it. Deadeye had the patch, right? And Deadeye had a small penis, and Rambo came in, and Deadeye looked at Rambo, and he's like, oh, it's like this big. I'll never forget it. But anyways, Ron Jeremy is famous around the world for sex. This is what he's known for. This is what his thing is. Now, the unfortunate event has happened here that Ron is being accused of raping some women and sexually assaulting some women. There are 20 accusations out on Ron Jeremy. And I don't know if I hope he didn't rape anybody, right? I'm not saying, please don't twist my words, because you guys love to twist my words. I get emails from people that listen to the podcast and say, oh, I can't believe you said this, bro. Don't twist my words. I don't condone rape. If you rape someone, you should get your ass fucking. First off, you should get beat up, then go to jail, and then get ass fucked like the guy got ass fucked in that Ed Norton movie. I can't think of the name of the movie, but that should happen to you. Now, I'm curious if Ron Jeremy really didn't do this and the women didn't understand. So Ron, his persona. Let's make a persona, right? My persona is that I'm a very passionate and angry, and I yell all the time, and I'm he spaz, he fucking yells. Look, he's gonna throw cereal in his face. I'm not really like that in everyday life. This is a microcosm or a micro action, all jam-packed in about 45-minute podcast of me being fired up, because I am. But in real everyday life, I'm not so fired up. You can have a nice conversation with me. I'm pretty chill. But that's my thing. Ron Jeremy's thing is fucking. Ron Jeremy's thing is his dick. Ron Jeremy's thing is pornography. Now, when you're a woman and you go to meet Ron Jeremy, what the hell do you think he's going to say? He's going to be in character. He's going to make a comment about his big schlong. He's going to make sexual comments. He's not sexually harassing you. He's being Ron Jeremy. He's not sexually harassing you. You should know, like the protesters, okay? When you go to a protest that is not a protest anymore, it is now a looting or rioting event, and criminal things are happening, you're going to get hurt. You should know that when violence breaks out and there's 30,000 people there or 10,000 people there and buildings are getting caught on fire, you're going to get hurt. You should know, if you are a female and you're going to talk to Ron Jeremy, he's going to say sexual things. That is his job. That is his persona. I hope his attorney, for a second here, Mr. Jeremy, I hope your attorney is listening to this program, to Spazzing Out America's podcast, because that should be the case. He should plead that this is what Ron Jeremy does, and it's common knowledge that Ron Jeremy is a porn star, Ron Jeremy is an adult film star, and that everything Ron Jeremy does is based around sex. He is merely staying in character out in public to keep the character up. He's just, imagine the Undertaker out in public, right? He's still the Undertaker. Hulk Hogan out in public is probably like, do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm not saying that sexual harassment, I don't condone sexual harassment. I don't condone rape. No one does. Who does? No one does. Ron Jeremy does it. What I'm trying to tell you is, what the hell do you expect when you go and have a conversation with a guy that's like 70-something years old, and all he's done for the past 40 years is have sex with women? That's what he's known for. It's like when you go into an amazing superstore and you get offended that they're selling penises, or you get offended that they're selling pornography. That's what the store is. It's a porn shop. It's like going into a strip club and you're like, oh, there's titties. Yeah, that's what they do there. There's tits. So I don't know if Ron Jeremy actually did these things or if he's just getting caught up in the Me Too. If he just got caught up in the Me Too movement, or if he's just caught up in the you're white and we hate you because you're white and women hate white men, so we're going to go after them. I don't know. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. Literally, it's a fearful time for guys. And I don't know. Listen, if Ron Jeremy really did sexually harass and rape these women, then it's unconscionable. I'm not for it. But what I'm trying to say is I'm guessing that these women approached Ron Jeremy and he made comments about sex, but that's what he is. You should know that going in. You shouldn't be able to sue somebody for making comments. That's just what he does. It's his life. Anyways, there. Ron Jeremy. I don't know what's going to happen to the guy. Honestly, the dude is like, he's going to die anyways. So it's kind of like a loss. It's like a lost cause. It's like they lock up Bill Cosby. It's like, dude, what's he got? Like 10 years left? He's dust. Ron Jeremy's dust. So it's, yeah, someone just said you can't even look at women anymore. Bro, I don't look at women. I have a wife. She's the only one I look at. All right, next thing. That's it, man. So today, the podcast isn't over. I'm just going to, now is the part where if you'd like to, you know what, let me talk about Nick Saban. Then we'll get to the last part and you guys can all bounce out. Yeah, muzzle pigs. That's it. They're all muzzle pigs. All right, so today Nick Saban walked with his football players in protest for social justice. Not a protest for anybody in particular. There was nothing, the protest didn't have anything to do with Floyd or with Blake. He just walked with his players, a little bit ahead of his players, in solidarity with these dudes to say, hey, you know what, guys? Yeah, I don't want, none of us want social injustice. None of us do. We don't want it for ourselves as white people. We don't want to be mistreated because we're white, and we don't want to see African Americans mistreated because they're black, or Native Americans because they're Native American. No one is for social injustice. No one is. We're just not. So Nick Saban walked with these guys, and I just want to point out that this is how you do it. Nick Saban's a class act, and he took his players and he walked with his players, and they were respectful. There was no rioting. There was no looting. It made national TV news. It made ESPN, and it made all the news stations. It got the point across in a peaceful way. Nick Saban and his players, with his players, got the point across in a peaceful way and said, hey, we will not stand for social injustice. If there is social injustice, we're not going to stand for it. And everybody heard about it. It was heard. And it's a news story. And people are talking about it. And you know what enough people are not talking about? Is the fact that it's the classy way and the right way to protest. Nobody was hurt. It made national news and everybody heard about it. Well done for Nick Saban and his football players to perform a peaceful protest. Kudos for Nick Saban, because that's what needs to happen. Guys like Nick Saban need to get out with their players and walk with their players, and then it's done. It's done. We've protested. Now let's get back to playing football. We're not going to kneel for our national anthem. We protested. Everybody saw it. I walked with you guys. I agree with you. Now let's play ball. Let's get back to playing sports. We did it. Honestly, it's the greatest thing. It's such a great show. I wish other sports teams and other athletes would hop on with this. I would be totally cool with it if Bill Belichick, which we know he won't, but if Bill Belichick and all the Patriots took a nice stroll down Route 1 and said, hey, we're not for social injustice, because fucking no one is. And here is our protest march, and then get back to work. Nobody gets hurt. It makes national news. Awareness gets put out there without anybody getting hurt, without any violence, without cities blowing up, without cops getting killed, without innocent people getting killed, without businesses being torn to the ground. None of that shit happened. Awesome. It really is amazing. Nick Saban is a stand-up dude, and that is how you do it. He's a leader. That's what leaders do. I wish more politicians. I've said this from the beginning, that when the protests were happening, if a politician like Charlie Baker, and I like Charlie Baker, I know a lot of you guys don't. I probably like him more than most because I've met him a bunch of times. But if Charlie Baker or if Kennedy will take Congressman Kennedy, who's running for senator, if he went with the protesters and got out there with them, he would keep the peace. You would keep the peace. If the governor walked with these people of any state, got out there, you'd keep the peace. You'd say, yeah, I'm just as pissed as you are, but breaking shit ain't going to change anything. Burning buildings down doesn't help. Hitting cops and going after them doesn't help. But I'm here with you. Let's march together. The whole world's watching. Let's march together. Social injustice is wrong. We all agree. But we don't just agree. I need to be clear here. We don't just agree that social injustice is wrong for African Americans. We believe that it's wrong for everybody. We don't want whites being discriminated on. We don't want blacks being discriminated on. We don't want Native Americans, Chinese people, Mexicans, Canadians, whatever. Women, men, we don't want anybody. We want an even playing field for all, and the hardest working people get the advantage. The hardest workers get the job. If a woman is the hardest worker, she gets the job. If the guy is, he does. If the black guy is, he is. If the white guy is, he gets it. The best person, even playing field. That's what we believe in. All humanity matters. All of us. Kudos, Nick Saban. Great job. All right. Last and final thing, and I'll warn you now. If you want out on this pot, you just bounce now. Thank you. Hey, I'll even say it. Thank you for listening to the program. I appreciate it. But this is where I have to have a conversation with people about drugs, and you guys know how I feel about drugs on this program. First and foremost, I don't care if you do drugs. Do them all you want, bro. You want to snort lines? Snort lines. I don't think people do that crap anymore. I think they do opiates, or they do oxy or fentanyl. You want to bang back oxy? You want to do perks? You want to shoot up fentanyl? You want to do heroin? Go ahead. I don't care. Do it. Please do it. Get it over with. Fucking overdose and die and be gone. I don't care. Bye-bye. Woo! See you later. The reason I bring this up today is International Overdose Awareness Day. Today is a day where they bring awareness to the people that have passed away from drug overdoses. Today, I read a tweet from the mayor of Boston that says we stand in remembrance of the people that have died from substance abuse. Bro, I don't stand in remembrance of these people. I don't honor these people. You fucking weak bitches or douchebags that got fucked up and you died of an overdose and you screwed your family over. You walked away from your daughters. You walked away from your kids. You walked away from your wives. You walked away from your life. You got high and you like getting high better than you care about your family. So, no, I don't honor you. I don't go, oh, it's National Awareness Day. You know what I call today? I call today, hey, fuck you. Too bad that you died, you druggie. I don't care for drugs, and you guys know why I don't, because it affected my life adversely. My mom was all banged up on drugs when I was a kid. Now, I'm a stronger man for it. I'm a tougher, harder man. I don't have any sympathy towards people because of it, because it's deadly. It'll fuck up. Drugs will mess up your family, and it'll mess up your brothers, and it'll mess up everybody around you. And guess who doesn't care? Guess who doesn't care? The person doing the drugs. They don't care. They will steal from you. They will lie to you. They will do whatever it takes to get high. And then what? When they die of an overdose, I'm supposed to feel bad? I'm supposed to... But if my mom popped off of an overdose, she didn't. But if she did, I wouldn't give a shit. I would say, good. She's gone, finally. Thank God. Now I don't have to worry about my bank account getting robbed. Now I don't have to worry about her stealing from me. And now I don't have to worry about her putting my brothers in tough situations. Nope. Thank you. Don't have to deal with it anymore. Bye. You're never going to get, I'm blown away. Charlie Baker sent out a thing too. I'm blown away that you guys that these people would take this opportunity to say they are going to honor the memory of people who died from an overdose. Let me help you with Drug Overdose Awareness Day. Simple. Don't do drugs, you won't die of an overdose. Simple. Don't do drugs and you'll be there for your daughter. Don't do drugs and you'll be there for your son. Don't do drugs, you'll be there for your wife. Don't do drugs, you'll fucking be there. Don't do drugs, you won't be on the street. Don't do drugs, you'll be able to take care of yourself. Don't do drugs, people will care about you. Drives me nuts. Absolute bonkers. I will never, ever, 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 as long as I live, have sympathy for someone that dies of a fucking drug overdose. I will not. Nope. Won't happen. If I'm at a funeral where someone that I know has died of an overdose, everybody in that room knows that I'm there out of respect for the family. But I don't give a shit that they died. And you could just see it on my face. I'll be there out of respect for the family. But the family members that know me, my buddies know me. My bud Laugh, he knows straight up. He don't like talking about drugs around me because I don't got any fucking sympathy about it. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you're hooked. You're weak. You're fucking weak. I'm pissed off about it. You're weak. I'm looking at you right now. You're addicted. You're hooked on drugs. You are weak. Weak. Now, if you want help, I'll try to help you. But guess what? I won't be able to. I can't help you. You have to help yourself. You'll get to be friends with me. This is what druggies do. They'll move from one person to the next. They'll start out with their family. You know what druggies are masters at? Lying. Druggies are masters of manipulation. They will manipulate you into saying stuff like, for example, they'll say, oh, once they've bleeded your family dry, right? Once they've sucked you dry, you've been sucked dry by the druggie, they'll move on to somebody else and they'll use this other person's weakness. They'll say, oh, like we'll just use me for an example, right? Say my mother has sucked me dry. I'm done. And I love my mom. So please, guys, my mom is still alive. I visit her. She comes over for Christmas. I forgave her. I let her go, man. I let her off the hook for that shit. I'm over it. No big deal. But I'm not gonna sit back and honor people who die of overdoses. I'm just not. I don't care. You ain't getting it from me. So to move forward, this is what druggies do. They use you. They make you feel bad. And then it's only after a long time that you finally had enough. After you've given money time after time, after they screwed you over time after time, after they put your siblings in danger time after time. Bro, I walked into a house when I was a kid. I walked into a fucking house and there was a guy in there with a razor blade and he cut himself up and fucking blood squirted everywhere. The dude was like, cotton blood was like squirting all over the place. That's what these people do. I remember I went to school. I'll never forget it, bro. I went to school. I talk more than anybody you know. I am the most talkative person on the damn planet. I went to school. I was quiet for like a week. I didn't say a fucking word. I didn't miss school. I don't miss school. I'm there. I show up every single day. I'll never forget it though. I didn't talk for a week straight. Not a peep. So much so that the kids in school, they knew. But the coaches knew. Social workers like at school, man, they call me the guidance counselor. I just sat there, man, for a fucking week straight because I couldn't believe what I saw. I was like, what the fuck? Couldn't believe it. I got over it. I'm stronger now. There's honestly, when I tell people there is nothing that you can do or say to me, right? When I'm like, hey, listen, you can't offend me. You can't say anything that will offend me, and you can't show me anything that I would be like, oh, remember, I've seen some fucked up shit, and it's okay. So haven't you. You all have. You've all had bad things happen to you. We're all shaped by the bad things that have happened in our life or the good things that have happened in our life. But this is what drugs do to people. Now, I got brothers that are younger than me. Younger brothers. I love these guys. I'm sure they don't want me sharing their information. I'm sure Mike and my brothers, they don't want this shit, but I talked about it on the radio before. These are my brothers, and they're put in a tough situation by a druggie. And we're supposed to feel bad? I'm supposed to sit back and I'm supposed to feel sympathy
for somebody. I'm supposed to say, oh, today's a day of honor and remembrance for druggies. Let's honor the druggies. Timmy died of an overdose. No, how about I honor soldiers when they die in the line of fire? I honor police officers, firefighters that run into fucking burning buildings and die. I honor them. I salute them. Druggies, I piss on your grave. I wouldn't, you know what, bro? I wouldn't piss on you to put out a fire. Beat it. I'll walk right over you. You die. I'm down at Meth Mile. You drop dead off of doing a shot, bro. I'll step right over you. Matter of fact, I might step on your throat. Help someone get over their pain faster by getting you out of this world and out of their life. I know girls. Man, it drives me nuts. I know kids that their fathers are scumbag druggies. They're gone. I know people. I know boys. I know the same shit. Honor them. Oh, International Overdose Awareness Day? Is that a joke? Is that haha funny? Monty Walsh talking about, like, literally the guy tweets out, he's like, oh, today we remember the fallen fucking druggies. Get out of here. Grow some balls. If I were mayor, bro, I'll never be a politician. But I want to be, but I never will be, because I'll get straight up there and I'll tell you all how it is. I'll say, yep, they're all a bunch of druggies on Meth Mile and they all need to go. Speaking of Meth Mile, which is down in Boston, it's the Walking Dead down there, where they pass out free drugs to keep on. There's like 300 people down there now. There's a big protest going on Thursday night because the people in Boston are fed up. They got people from all over the state now have come to Meth Mile because all the other places are shut down. This is where they pass out Spaz'n to people that can't get over their drug addiction. You go down. I wish I could go down there and broadcast, but my family won't let me. I've already been told that I can't do my podcast down there because they just concerned that I'm going to get sick and they don't want to pass it on, right? But listen, I want to go down there because I'll broadcast down there, and what I want to do is I want to ask them straight up questions. I want to be like, hey, you, why are you out here? I'll be like, oh man, I'm out here, no fucking teeth. I'm out here, I'm real fucked up on some shit. Yeah, you got any kids? Oh yeah, I got kids. Yeah, when was the last time you seen them, dickhead? What are your kids doing? How are they doing? Why don't you just get off it? How about just stop doing it? Why ain't your kids enough? You see where that pain comes from? You see where that problem comes from? That comes from me looking at my mom being like, why can't you stop? Why aren't we enough? Why aren't my brothers enough? Why ain't my dad enough? Why aren't we enough? Why are the drugs more important to you than us? That's what it's about. You want to do drug awareness? Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Here's the awareness. Here's my little awareness for you druggies. Plain and simple. Here's my awareness. Don't do drugs and you won't die of an overdose. You'll be there for your daughter. You'll be there for your son. And you'll be there for your family. Don't do them. Fucking don't do them. Simple. But if you do, I don't care if you do. Please do the drugs, bro. Hold on, my iPad got all messed up. Please do the drugs. Do them. By all means, do them and die faster so that you can stop sucking off of everybody else. Because that's what you do. First, you suck off your family. Then you go somewhere else and you talk shit about your family. You find someone else that will feel bad for you, and you'll say, oh, my sons don't care about me. My ex-husband doesn't care about me. And then you'll find someone else and you'll suck them dry. And then you'll move on to the next person. You'll say, oh, that person mistreated me. They were a scumbag. No, you are the scumbag that steal from your family to buy drugs. And then you're the scumbag that's stuck out on the street and you want people to feel bad for you. I know a guy that's run Meth Mile. I know a guy that's been living there for a couple of years, man. I see him all the time. He's a fucking scumbag. He's a scumbag. None of my business. It's none of my business. But I'll tell you this. I know the dude's got a daughter, and I know his daughter. You're a scumbag. You are a fucking world-class piece of crap. Piece of crap. Please. I hope and pray that you can get your crap together
so that you could be there for your daughter. But you know what? I hope you don't. I hope you die of a goddamn overdose and your daughter never meets you so that you can't bring pain into her life. So that you're just a footnote in her life. So that she gets to grow up happy, not torn about where her dad is, not torn about why her dad's picked drugs over her, not fucked up because of it. I hope you get dusted. Poof. Meth Mile is a problem. They need to get those people out of there. Just stop giving them drugs. Here's now I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna give some some serious advice. Here's my advice to the government. Stop giving out free drugs to drug addicts. Stop it. All you're doing is keeping them addicted, except you're just feeding the machine, right? So now you're paying for drugs to keep these guys addicted to a lesser dose of a drug. They're gonna get a score. They're gonna figure it out. So stop handing out right off the bat. Enough giving drugs to people. Stop it. That would and let them all wipe out. Let them all puke. Let them all. God forbid they have to go through a couple of days of detox. But if you stop, they're like cats. You're feeding them, except you're feeding them drugs. And the next thing is, stop talking about this stop talking about it like we should honor the death of someone that's died of a drug overdose. Enough with it. Enough. I will never ever honor the death of someone that died of an overdose. I don't care. Think about what they're doing to their family. My thoughts and prayers are with the family members that had to go through such tough times, and my thoughts and prayers are with the parents that their kids are gone, because it's tough for you. It ain't tough for them. They're gone, man. They used you. Please, if you have a drug user in your family, you know what I'm talking about. You know I'm right. It burns me right to the core. Listen, if you're a drug dealer, you're a scumbag. You're just as bad. You get these people hooked. Now listen, ultimately, I don't let anybody off the hook. Ultimately, it is your fault for doing drugs. Nobody really makes you do drugs. I've been made, not made. I've since I can remember. People have offered me drugs. I don't do them. I drink alcohol. I do. There's no doubt there, but I can stop anytime I want. I don't have to drink. I like to drink. And sure as shit, there are plenty of times where I get drunk because I'm having a rough day and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll have a drink, man. I got to take the edge off. But if I die from drinking alcohol, don't feel bad for me. Please don't feel bad for me. You can feel bad for my family, but don't feel bad for me. I don't want you guys to be, oh, he was such a good, nope. I was a dickhead. I died from drinking. Dickhead. I don't want to, oh, he was nope, dickhead. He died from an overdose. He's a dick. He left his kid behind. He's a dick. He left his wife behind. He's a dick. And I don't want to hear oh, you don't know what they went through. Oh, he had his leg cut off and he had to do perks for the rest of his life. Well, let me tell you something, right? I don't know what it's like to not have a leg, but I could tell you this, that if I had to pick between my leg and my son, I'd say cut the leg off, and I would deal with the pain of the leg being cut off so that I could have him be with my son. I would deal with it. I would say to myself, yes, this really hurts. Yes, this is painful. And you can ask, like, oh, what do I know from pain? I've been stabbed before. I have a knife. I have a big ass fucking mark on the back of my knife. I've been stabbed. I've felt pain. I've never broken a bone, luckily, but I've been hit with things. I get it. Life is painful. I've seen painful things. But nothing is more painful than a kid growing up without his parents. For the kid, that's pain. Nothing is more painful than a son's father dying from a drug overdose. Nothing's more painful than a parent's kid dying because they're addicted to drugs. That's true pain.
While you're numbing your pain, you are leaving everlasting pain in other people's lives. Everlasting pain that they will have to deal with and cope with while you are gone. And they will deal and cope. But you chose not to. You said, fuck it. I'm going to put pain and anguish on other people, and I'm going to peace out. And that's all I got on it, man. I'm done for the night. Done for the night. I'll be clear on this again. By all means, do all the drugs you want. I am not here, and I never will be here to tell you not to do something. You do with your life what you want to do with it. Just understand that I personally, and look, to the people that listen to the podcast that have lost a loved one to a drug overdose, I truly am. I have a heart. I truly am sorry that you had to, that you're still dealing, because you'll never. I mean, shit, my dad died of a heart attack, and I think about the man every day. So the anguish and the pain that you're left with, I'm sorry, and I wish I could take it away from you. I wish I could. I feel like I could handle the world's pain sometimes. I wish I could just, like the Green Mile. I wish I could just suck it from you and just, I'll wear your pain so that you can be okay. I wish I could do that for people. I would, because I feel like I can handle it. So I'm sorry for what you've been through and what you're going through, but I'm not sorry that I'm not sympathetic to your loved one that died. I'm just, I can't be. I can't. Sorry. I'm sorry to you, but I'll never. Zero. You get nothing. You get nothing with me. Nothing whatsoever. I have no tolerance for people that are hooked on drugs. I don't. It's a tough topic with me because of how my family was raised, the stuff that happened to me and my family. I would try to help you, but I know that I can't. Like you ain't getting money from me. Nothing. This is why I don't give homeless people money. I feel bad for homeless people. I really do. But I don't give them money because I know from experience they're not eating. They're not taking it. They're going to go buy drugs. They're going to go buy alcohol. That's all they're doing with it. If I thought they would buy food with it, I'd give it to them. I'd be better out. I've passed out food before, and you could see that disdain look they give you, like, oh, food? I'm looking for money, dude. I got to get my fix. I can't. I'm going to get pissed. I can't. I'm out. Can't. I'd say you're fucking up someone's life, man. You're fucking up someone's life. I won't honor you. I won't condone it. You're a scumbag. You're just a fucking piece of crap. If you can't look in the mirror at yourself, and you're a whiny ass bitch, and your day's so rough, and you gotta get your fix, and you got a kid, you got a daughter, you got a son, you got a wife, and you out on the street. Fuck you. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for listening to Spaz'n Out. I appreciate it. I don't always try to do these serious topics, but it seems like the serious topics are all that we ever have, because that's all that's going on. And when we get to the drug thing, time and time again, I'll try to avoid it, and I'll try not to talk about it. But when we get in on it, bro, I'm going in. I'll go balls deep. I'll bitch on it for hours. So hopefully you scooted out before I got to that, okay? I hope everybody has a great night. I hope that nobody in your life is addicted to drugs, and if they are, it's a long battle for you. It's a long battle. You're going to need a lot of patience, and let me just tell you this, you got to forgive. It's not your fault. I'll just say that. You got to forgive yourself. You got to let yourself off the hook. If you don't let yourself off the hook, it's going to be a tough road. You got to let it go. Let it go. And if they die, it's not your fault. There's nothing you could have done to help them. If they pass away, it's not your fault. Thanks for listening, guys. Bro, you just ordered a pepperoni pizza. What, do you want to get me all fired up again? All right. YouTube peeps. Thank you. I'm out. Twitter. Bye-bye. All right, my family on Facebook. Love you guys very much.
You all have a good night. I will see you guys tomorrow. We gonna get this fired up. Are you with me? Where you at? In the front, in the back, killer bees on the track.